So some adjectives tell you the color of things. For example, please get me some white paint. So this is white paint. So this white describes a color of this thing. The sky is gray. The sky is gray. So these children look at the sky, then they have observed that the sky is gray in color. The sea is blue. George is wearing brown shoes. I don't like green apples. Carrots are orange. Flamingos are pink. Eggplants are purple. Roses are red. Your hands are black. So all these bolded words are adjectives which show or states a color. Also, some adjectives tell you the size of the nouns they describe. They show the size of nouns that they have described. For example, a hug balloon. A hug balloon. A fat sumo wrestler. So it is a fat, as you can see. A thin boy. A boy is thin. A short man. So this man is short, as you can see here. A big hat are the examples. Broad shoulders. A high mountain. A large ship. A long bridge. A low sailing. A narrow path. Small animals. Thin insects. A wide street. So the word tall describes people, and narrow upright objects. For example, you can say a tall girl, a tall bookcase. The word high describes bigger or wider objects that reach a great height. For example, you can say a high mountain, a high wall. Numbers are adjectives too. They tell you how many people, animals, or things they are. Sometimes they are called adjectives of quality. For example, 2 princes, 3 princesses, 1 giant. So the word 1, 2, 3 are adjective of number, since they show the number of animal, thing, persons, or whatever. 4 mermaids, 5 witches. So these are 5 witches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even this 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 fairies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 elves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 dwarfs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 puppets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are 10 angels. So this 10, 9, 7 adjectives. 11 hens, 12 geese, 13 birds, 14 mice, 15 frogs, 16 snails, 17 kittens, 18 ants, 19 lizards, as well as 20 butterflies. Other adjectives tell you something about quantity without giving you the exact number. For example, some soldiers. So a word some does not give an exact number, though we can count them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there is no exact number whether these soldiers are 4 or 5, 6, 7 or whatever. A lot of books Here, so these books are not given exactly number. A little ice cream, a little rice. Not many people. Too much salt. Lots of insects. Plenty of money. Some food. Is there any milk? So I wait any, some, plenty of, lots of, much, many, little, a little. A few cups, but not 3 or 1, 2, no. A few pups, though you can mention them, but a word few show that the number that is not exactly. Again, adjectives tell you about content are also called quantifying determiners. Quantifying determiners. And here down is our exercise. And once we conduct it, then we get much understanding about adjective. And exercise 1 is look at the underlined words in the following sentences. Do you know what kinds of adjectives are they? In the black, write C. In the blanks, write C if the underlined words tell you about color. S if they tell you about size. Q, I if they tell you about quality. Or if they tell you about origin. Or QN if they tell you about the number or content or things. The D has 2 pairs of shoes, so you have to write the symbol given to these 2. If it is a number, then you write or you give the sign that you have given. Our pair is brown and the other pair is black. So brown and the black, you have to show them whether they are color, they are number, they are whatever. This is very simple pose. So you have to show simple at what the adjective belongs to. What color is the American flag? So American, you have to show it. A kind fairy appeared before Cinderella, so you have to show kind. He is a proud man. There is some food left, so you have to show food. To what group is it belongs to? Tom is wearing a blue t-shirt, so this blue you have to check to what adjective. Jack has 10 marbles. Peter has 20. How many marbles have Jack and Peter? Dash altogether. There is an Indian temple in the city, so you have to show Indian. There is a large crowd outside the temple, you have to show large. My house is just a few miles from the school. They are driving a small car, so you have to show small. She likes those yellow and red balloons. So now let us proceed with comparison of adjective. The comparison of adjective. So when you compare 2 people or things, use the comparative form of the adjective. Lots of comparative adjectives end in ER. So you want to check the comparison of adjective. We want to compare 2 or more things by using adjective. So we advised or we are instructed that those adjectives, want to compare them, we have all those adjectives ends with the ER. For example, fast becomes faster. So there is ER ending. Small, smaller. So this is a small, this is a small, this is a smaller. So once we compare this and this, you can find this is smaller than this. Even here, this is fast, but this is faster. Bright, brighter. So this is bright, but this is too bright, since There are many, many bright. Cheap, cheaper. Clear, clearer. Loud, louder. New, newer. Old, older. Rich, richer. Short, shorter. Tall, taller. Slow, slower. Thick, thicker. So the word than is often used with the comparative adjectives. For example, you might say, Jack is taller than John. So this than is to show the comparative between these two, Jack and John. So Jack is taller than John. A sports car is faster than a motorbike. But out of comparative, use the sperative form of an adjective to compare 3 or more nouns. Loss of sperative end in est. So in superative now, once you want to compare 3 or more nouns, then those adjective ends with est. For example, dark, darker, that is darkest. So you can see the difference between this. This is just a white, this is at least a dark start, but this is darkest. Thick, thicker, thickest. Clean, cleaner, cleanest. Ease, easier, easiest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Flat, flatter, flattest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Hot, hotter, hottest. Narrow, narrower, narrowest. Noise, noisier, noisiest. Simple, simpler, simplest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Wet, wetter, wettest. But long, longer, longest. So you can see these here. So this is just a long, not much, but this is a long at least. Once we compare this and this is long. That's why you say longer, but this is longest. Since once we compare them, we compare this into these 2 and 3. That's why you say longest. So you often add the before the sperative form. For example, you say, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. So in their usage, we are advised to use the determine before sperative form of adjective. Peter is the tallest boy in his class. Also with the adjective that ends in e, add r to form a comparative, and st to form the sperative. For example, close, closer, closest. Large, larger, largest. Safe, safer, safest. Wide, wider, widest. Some adjectives have only one syllable, end with the r consonant, and have a single vowel before the consonant. With these adjectives, double the last letter before ending er to form the comparative, and est to form the sperative. For example, big, bigger, biggest. Dim, dimmer, dimmest. Mad, madder, maddest. Sad, sadder, saddest. But some adjectives have 2 syllables, end in y. With these adjectives, change the y into I, then add er to form the comparative, and est to form the sperative. For example, bus or busy, busy, busier, busiest. Date, dita, deetest. Happy, happier, happiest. Print, printer, printer, prettiest. With some adjectives, you use more to make the comparative form and most to make the sperative form. For example, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. That's why they don't That's say they don't receive ER or EST, but we use or we add more and most to make them into comparative and superlative, by which more is for comparative and most for superlative. More examples are active, more active, most active, and not activer. Charming, more charming, most charming. Cheerful, more cheerful, most cheerful. Comfortable, more comfortable, most comfortable. Delicious, more delicious, most delicious. But adjectives that form their comparative and superlative with more and most are usually adjectives with the 2 or more syllables or sounds. For example, active, expensive, beautiful. So you can see there are about 2 or more syllables. Famous, so in this famous we have 2 syllables. Charming, fortunate, so 3 syllables. Cheerful, intelligent, 4 syllables. Comfortable, powerful, delicious, 3. Valuable, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comparative and superlative forms of some adjectives are completely different words. Can you see good, better, best, and not gooder? It is good, better, best. Little, less, least. More examples: bad, was, worst. Few, less, least. Many, more, most. Much, more, most. So with these adjectives, you don't add ER or more to form the comparative, or EST or most to form the superlative, since they are already themselves comparative and they are already in comparative and superlative form. As we saw here, good, it is an adjective common. Better, and you can see even the marks. The marks got by this test, it is Matthew's test. Here there is 90 per 100, but this is better. 95 per 100, that's why it is better. While this is 100 per 100, that is the best. So this is the best, that's why we say this is superlative, comparative, and this is superlative. Once we compare this and this 2, then we get this. That's why we say better. And this is the best, but not more best or bestest, not. And even this little, it is little. 1, less, 2, but this is less than 3, 2, 1. So you can say this is too little, that's why it is 1, and it is said, or it is named as least. That is the superlative form of little. Bad, was, worst. It is bad. It is was. So was is bad than is bad than bad itself. Worst, it is 2 now. Few, less, least. Many, more, most. Much, more, most. So with these adjectives, so we don't add ER or more to form the comparative, or EST to form the superlative. So then after we have those exercises, and we have the numbers or list of exercises that we have to conduct. And exercise 1 is fill in the blanks with the correct comparative and superlative form of the following adjectives. So here we have a word, we have comparative form and the superlative form. So you write with, here there is word 1, hard. So this hard, you have to write its comparative and the superlative. Cold, a word cold also, you have to write in comparative and the superlative. Soft, write it into comparative and the superlative. Tall, you have to write it into comparative and the superlative. Rich, you have to write into comparative and the superlative. Mad, we write comparative form and superlative of this. Fun, comparative and the superlative. Big, comparative form and its superlative. Sad, comparative and superlative. Busy, comparative, superlative. Noise, comparative and superlative. This is exercise 1. And we have the second exercise or exercise 2, that fill in the blanks with the correct comparative and superlative forms of the following adjectives. Foolish, so this foolish, we have to write it into comparative and the superlative form. Harmful, comparative, superlative. Poisonous, comparative, superlative. Valuable, comparative, superlative. Difficult, comparative, superlative. Generous, comparative, superlative. So this was all about adjective. And after having an adjective, we have other part or next part, that is determiners. So determiners are words such as this, those, my, their, which. They are special adjectives that are used before nouns. And particularly here, we are talking about articles. And in articles, the words are, an, and they belong to this group of words called the determiners or articles. And the words a and an are called the indefinite articles. You can use them with singular nouns to talk about any single person or thing. For instance, can you hear a bird singing? This is a picture of an elephant. Ruth is reading a book. Mommy bought me a new dress today. You will need an umbrella when you go out. She eats an apple a day. Do you wear a uniform to school? So this is a uniform. The article an is usually used before words beginning with vowels. The article a is used before words beginning with the consonants, but we shall see their special cases. How do they used? And the word they or article they is called the definite article. Use they before a noun when you are talking about a certain person or thing that is known. For example, the telephone is ringing. Tom has won the race. Whereas the cat, I think she is under the bed, or I think it is under the bed, as we can see here. Gran is sitting in the garden. The street is very busy today. The sky is getting darker. The ice is melting. So you can see there is ice and it is melting. So use the before a noun when there is only one. That is to say in singular. For example, the sun, the moon, the sky, the front door of my house. So we have demonstrative determiners. Demonstrative determiners. Those determiners which are used to demonstrate or to show things. And the words this includes these, that, these, and those are determiners. They are used to tell which thing or person you mean. These words are called demonstrative determiners or demonstrative adjectives. For example, I am keeping these books. Since they are nearby, since as we have started during the previous time in demonstrative pronouns. I am selling those books. I am selling those books. So here, these and those. This ice cream is delicious. How much is that racket? What is that animal? Bring me that ball. Would you like these apples? James lives in this house. You use these and those to point to people or things near you. So this is singular while this is plural. And you use that and those to point to people or things that are farther from you, distant from you. You use this and that before singular nouns. That's to say this and that is used in singular, while these and those are used in plural. Here's a table to help you remember the rules. So we have this, that, and those. So these are determiners. So in determiners we have checked on articles, by which we have three of them: are, an, and they. So all these are articles, but they are also determinants since they are used in special adjectives, and once you use them, or they normally used before nouns. So in determinants here we have checked about articles, and in these articles we have checked on their usage. How or where do we use are, an, and they? Again, we have checked on or discussed on demonstrators determiners, by which we have checked on this, that, and these, and those. And these determinants, we had discussed them in demonstrative pronouns. So these are pronouns, but here they don't function as pronoun, while they function as determinants, since they show the status of the given noun. For example, this man, that person, these people, those books. But here we have to know the usage. How do we use this, that, these, and those? And for more illustrating, as I have said, this, that is used in singular, while this, those is used in plural. But there are also some cases. This, nearby, that, far distant. These, plural of this, nearby, while those, plural of that, far distant. So these are demonstrators. Then after we shall proceed with the interrogative determiners. But here, this is a chart which gives